Yeah, I'm up on it.
Be right on top of it. You bet.
Alrighty, welcome back to the Son of a Boy Dad podcast. Today it is October 7th, and we are here live from HQ3. Hello.
Let's get it today. This is going to be a good one.
Yeah, I hope.
No, I can tell.
You never really know.
It sounded kind of negative when you said, "Yeah, I hope."
I don't know. I just meant you never really know.
No, I can tell.
I can't. I never can tell.
You're not a tone setter.
It's probably true.
I'm a tone setter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For instance, I feel the energy from you today.
I'm feeling really good.
It's your lettuce, I think. I think it's come from the hair. It's just getting better every week.
No, people, I don't know how to. The hair it is what it is. I mean, you guys are nice, but let's be honest. It is, the jury's still out on the hair.
Well, let them fucking wait.
Yeah. Some days it's great, and then some days it's not. Bottom line, I took a late flight back last night from LA, and I'm here, and I'm ready to rip.
Did you go red eye?
No, I didn't take a red eye, but I got in at 1:30 a.m. to JFK.
What were you in LA for? I didn't even know you were in LA.
I went to a wedding.
Oh, yes. You said that.
Yeah.
You did say you were in LA.
It was an awesome wedding. I mean, no offense to other people's weddings I've been to, but it was probably the best wedding I've ever been to.
Damn.
It was so sick.
How was the crime?
In LA?
Yeah.
Dude, I did not venture from the hotel.
Oh, that's nice.
I didn't leave the hotel.
Yeah.
That's
And
the safest way. It's the best way to stay away from the woke mind virus.
Yeah. Well, hotel.
Well, they say you're
and-
supposed to isolate for 24 hours when you get back. So
Yeah.
now I'm kind of worried that I might get it.
Hotel and the place where the venue was.
The venue. Yeah. I was in Baltimore.
Okay.
I stayed at that hotel.
Which one? The
Admiral.
Yeah, that's on the corner there on that
Yeah.
cobblestone street.
Yeah.
That's nice. I didn't stay there.
It's not nice.
It's not?
No.
Is
Not
that
at
where
all.
what
Did
happened?
you recommend it to him?
No, I didn't. I
No,
told him
but
to
you
put his
were like-
opener there and go stay at the Four
Yeah.
Seasons.
No, it was terrible. It was a really bad hotel.
Well, you should have done what I said. You're
It's also
making enough money.
haunted.
Yeah.
Did
I
you
stayed
know
in
that?
the haunted hotel in Austin.
Really?
Yeah, the one that the Driscoll.
Oh,
and they
that's-
like turned that into a fucking thing there. They have shit all over the walls with plaques explaining like who died where and who haunts which hallways.
Oh, really?
I'm like,
The
what kind of a
fuck?
fucking freak gets off to actually knowing their hotel's haunted?
Well, dude, I didn't even know. I drove there and then I couldn't figure out where to park, so I tried to look up the hotel to see if they had like a parking thing.
No, they're not.
And
gonna
they
have
don't.
that. No.
But I typed in Admiral Inn, and then the first recommended thing was haunted.
Mm,
And then I clicked on it, and there was just like hundreds of articles about
yeah.
the ghosts. The thing that didn't make sense to me was apparently the ghost that haunted it died in 1999.
So they had they had email.
Yeah, like
They're haunting
that's-
via dial-up?
Yeah,
The fuck?
that's way too recent. But the hotel sucked. The club was great.
Yeah, it's
The
good.
port was very fun.
Did you end up going to either of the restaurants I told you to go to?
No,
Oh,
I
you
didn't leave the hotel.
You got to stop giving it. You're
It's-
wasting your
But
advice.
it's not even a restaurant. It's a street food place that's unbelievable. You would have loved it.
I know.
Ekabatten.
I know, I heard.
It's like $20.
Yeah, no, we didn't do that. I went fishing both days. That was nice.
I saw the fish you caught.
Yeah,
Fucking tiny.
tiny, but it was a nice little.
Oh, I thought that was a picture of you doing the thumb trick where you take the thumb and pretend to remove it.
Yeah, I thought it was your dick.
it was a small
I thought it was your
fish,
dick.
but it was. I caught some wild brown trout in Maryland. That was fun. I clogged the toilet the day I got to the hotel.
Are you trauma dumping on us right
This is
now?
a funny story. Well, I got a lot to say about Baltimore.
I had a lot to say about LA, but we got off that pretty quick.
I didn't know you were still going.
No, that's okay. I'm
It's a
glad
teaser. It's
I'm
a
glad
teaser.
you used it as a
We'll
springboard.
go back.
I don't want to go
Trust
back.
me, we'll go back.
I don't have any
I'm gonna
interest.
find a way to. I'm gonna find a way to get us back to.
Oh
LA.
yeah, you're
Yeah.
that guy? You're the
Yeah.
guy that brings it back around?
I'm gonna bring it back.
No, that's this guy. You're that guy.
You'll see. You'll see. And it's gonna be a flawless transition.
Well, I'm on the edge of my seat waiting for your flawless transition that'll happen.
All right, you clogged the toilet.
So I
the minute you
clogged the
got there.
toilet the first night, Thursday. I got in. I did the show. Got back from the show like 9:30. Took a shit, big shit, like emptied the tank. Like one of those ones that's been piling up for a couple days. And then I wiped my ass and I flushed the toilet, and it didn't even look like the shit in the toilet paper attempted to go down the drain. It just immediately clogged.
So maybe it was already kind of clogged.
It could have already been kind
Yeah.
of clogged, but it's also a very old hotel, so I think they might just have shitty plumbing.
Yeah, that's the 1999 haunting.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's just a ghost under there just pushing the
That's how we died.
just fucking
Just
No!
folding this shit up. Dude, so then I'm like, so then I'm sitting in my room for like 30 minutes, and I'm like, I really don't want to have to go down and ask for a plunger, because I tried to call the desk, none of the lines work. So I walk down and I'm like, hey, there's a dude in front of me. I wait in line, and then they do that thing where they're like, can we help you with anything? Like as he's still there, and then I gotta be like, can I get a plunger? I clogged my toilet, and then they're like, yeah, I don't think we have a plunger. So my toilet was clogged the entire time I was there.
What?
They didn't have they pretended, like just like kicked shit around, like pretended to look for a plunger
They, like, search
for
their
like
pockets.
5 minutes, and then they were just like, yeah, no, we don't have one. So they just didn't. I just never got to unclog my toilet
And you stayed in that room the whole time.
the entire time.
Come on.
Dude.
What's the catch here? There's no
There-
way that that's what is it? Probably a 3-star hotel?
1 star.
No.
How
it's
do you
better
not
than
have a
that.
fucking plunger at a
That's
hotel?
what I'm wondering. And how did they not even attempt to solve it?
Dude, I don't know.
Did you go out looking for one?
I went to 7-Eleven to try and find a plunger and or Drano, and they didn't have one. And then I was like, what am I going to do? I'm not going to go to like a fucking, like a Lowe's and buy a plunger and then
Why
bring
not?
it
Yeah,
to
I
the
mean,
hotel.
you just went to Maryland to fish and couldn't find a Lowe's on the way home.
I didn't want to fucking buy the hotel a plunger to plunge their
you could
toilet.
have kept it with you.
And then also I had to park the
They're-
car like a mile away.
They're
'cause there's a-
$8,
there's a
and you'd rather
festival.
live in a shit marinating
Dude,
fucking
dude.
hotel room
You can't
than
be blaming
do
this
the
on me.
hotel a solid of buying an $8
The
plunger.
hotel didn't have a plunger. Is
but
that not
did you
insane?
elevate the issue past the first time you asked at the desk?
They said the first time I asked, they said, "Well, we can check in the morning, or we can see if we can get one in the morning."
No.
And then I went out early in the morning fishing, and I was like, "Oh, I bet housekeeping like plunged my toilet." And then I got back, and it was still clogged. But it was that sneaky clog where like the shit's gone, the shit sinks down, and then it's just clear water. And I flushed it,
And it all came stirring back.
overflowed.
no.
Overflowed.
No.
Had to
With all of your shit?
No, the shit was gone. It was
Wow,
clean
where
water.
did it go?
It went down.
The ghost took it.
The ghost must have taken
Ghost ate it.
It
The ghost
ghosted
must have
the
ate
shit.
it or something.
Yeah.
It's like when you take a hit of weed and it nothing
So then-
comes out when you exhale.
Yeah, exactly.
They literally ghosted your shit.
Dude, I had to take all of the towels and surround the toilet. I mean, dude, it was like I was at work the entire weekend. Like I had to go to 7-Eleven and buy paper towels to clean the bathroom.
Paper towels?
Yeah.
No.
Yes, dude. I was out of regular towels.
You could have asked them for more towels.
It was
No,
not. It
that's
wasn't
correct.
It wasn't a welcoming environment at all.
If you go down and you say, I flushed the toilet that I thought had been unclogged by the housekeeping staff, it started to overflow. I need more towels.
Dude,
They
it was
would've
a
given
couple
you towels.
it was a couple no nonsense black broads working the desk. They did not want to hear from me.
Well, I think that's obvious.
I went down and I said I need a plunger, and they were like, nah, we're not going to help you out with like it.
They
It
checked
wasn't.
the pockets of their skin tight pants.
Yeah, they
and
were
there was
not
no
looking to
plunger
help.
in there.
They were not
Mhm.
looking to help at all. Dude, it honestly seemed like they didn't even know like why I would need a plunger. Like when you go down and ask for a plunger, it's kind of like an urgent situation.
They thought that you were making some like silly art. Or
Yeah.
something like that.
They're like, no, I don't think we got one of those, which they definitely do. There's no way they don't have a
Is
plunger.
he trying to scale the outside of the building for a heist? Yeah, that's the right sound. God, I wasn't even close. He's asking for one plunger. Surely he needs two, one for each hand.
And they probably just open up the back room where the computer is, and there's just stacks of
Oh,
plungers.
yeah.
Just like Pulp Fiction briefcase opening up and fucking gold reflecting off of their faces because of the abundance of plumbers in there.
Isn't that so
Plungers.
brutal though? Going down and asking for a plunger, and then they
Why
say
did you call?
no. I told you I tried the line, then no one picked up.
Do you know what's even more brutal?
I called 3 different desks, but which
Hairball?
also it all goes to the
Call the
same
concierge.
phone. Yeah.
Call the
It's-
valet.
It's your problem solving ability is brutal.
No,
You're not a problem solver.
I am. Okay, okay.
You're not a solution-oriented guy.
Let me run through this one more time with you. Okay.
I found you gave me the story, and I see so many
No, but
other
let me
ways that you could have
explain.
solved
Let
it.
me explain myself. Let me explain myself.
I just can't believe that you gave
Okay,
up that easily
yeah.
and chose to
You-
live.
Listen, you gotta listen. You gotta
in an-
listen.
okay.
Let me give you a quick rundown of my thought process here.
All right, fine.
Night 1, I clogged the toilet. Wait, stop. Listen, Francis. Night 1, I clogged the toilet. It's late. I go downstairs. Okay, problem solving. I go downstairs and ask for a plunger. They don't have one.
Right.
It's late. I already shit. I don't have to shit again today. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to go to bed. Housekeeping will come in the morning. They'll see the situation. They'll fix it.
On board with you.
On board.
Yep.
I wake
that's
up-
still tenuous because there's shit particles flying around your room like gnats, like fruit flies.
No, that wasn't until night 2.
I'm not sleeping as that well night 1, knowing that I haven't solved that issue. I see them kicking stuff around. I might say, all right, clearly these 2 women at the front desk are not the right people to help me with this. I need to find some
Maintenance man.
woman who only speaks Spanish and has
Yes, but there was
a
no one.
cart.
It's the hotel's like it's a ghost town.
Literally.
Yes.
All right, fine. All
So-
right, you're off the hook for night 1. Keep
Night
going.
1, night 2, or day 2, I wake up at like 7. I'm out by 8. I hear people knocking on doors, so I assume housekeeping is coming.
Yeah, there's a mistake.
Why?
When you hear someone in the hallway knocking on doors and you know that housekeeping is around, you need to flag your issue to one of them before you leave.
But my assumption was that housekeeping was going to come to my room. They never did. So day 1, I wake up and I'm like, all right, I'm going to go fishing. Housekeeping is going to come, and they're going to fix my clogged toilet.
I think
problem.
ever since COVID, I've learned that housekeeping does not necessarily come every day to sort of tidy your room up anymore. And you got to put one of those service please things on the outside of the door, especially if you have a
You need to
clogged
have
toilet.
they need a shit clogged toilet sign that you
You're
can hang on
yes, you're a priority. This is not just I want my sheets retucked. It's I can't be here anymore due to the biohazard I've created.
I created 3 Mile Island with a couple logs in my toilet.
All right. So
Also,
I'm
where
kind
are
of
you
I'm
being?
kind of
You're
on board with
growing
you guys
like
for day 2.
sourdough cultures
Yes, for
in your
day-
toilet.
You can
For
make
day
prison
2,
wine in your toilet.
And you're out fishing thinking, oh, some magical Spanish fairies are going to come in here with their beautiful plungers and figure this out.
For day 2, I'm on your guys' side. I should have probably tried to reach out to someone again.
Well, what time did you get home from fishing?
5.
Okay, shows it's 7:30.
Yeah.
You see that it's still clogged.
I see it's still clogged. I am gassed. I go in the bathroom, still clogged, and I go, Jesus Christ. And then I just laid in bed until the show.
There you go.
Yes. So now,
That's unforgivable.
Yeah.
That's unforgivable problem
yes,
solving.
you're right. You're right.
That is
You're right.
utter resignation.
You're right. I resigned.
You resigned.
Day 2, you are right. I resigned. Day 3.
Lying in bed is so funny.
When
You
you
had to shit
started
so
this,
bad.
you had so much confidence when you were like, wait, well, let me walk through this.
Let me because I want to explain day 3.
But there shouldn't be a day 3. No clean human in a hotel for 3 days is letting that continue to fester.
Day 3, I wake up, I go fishing again. And on the way home, I'm thinking, I should probably get a plunger.
Yep.
But then,
You had your own car?
yes.
Oh.
But the car was parked far away, and there was a festival happening in the area, so I didn't want to have to park the car and then walk a fucking mile holding a plunger.
You could put a bag over it.
Everyone's gonna know what it is.
Dude, act
No,
like it's
not
a baguette. You
necessarily.
go to a bread store and you get a tall baguette bag.
I didn't want to go buy a plunger.
You don't buy one with the yellow handle. Everyone knows that that's what that
the yellow
is.
with
You
the
buy
black
one with a
lid,
different
the
colored
wooden
handle, and they think, oh, what's that? A
It's
paint
part
roller?
of a broomstick.
Is that a spool? Upon
well, that was
which-
that was the plan on night 1, was hoping that 7-Eleven had a plunger.
7-Eleven is not going to have a. You have to go to the 7-Eleven bathroom and rob them of their plunger.
Well, I thought about asking the port if I could borrow their plunger, because it's literally right across the street. I was going to just bring it across, go plunge my toilet, and then bring it back.
That would have been a good plan.
That would have been a good plan. But then I started getting pissed. So then I was like, fuck that, dude. I'm leaving this shit in here. Like, this is on. Then my
So
mindset
you became vengeful.
My mindset on day 3 was
shitting on
revenge.
top of it.
Yes, I did shit on top of it. My mindset on day 3 was just straight up revenge. I was going, this is what you get. This is what you get for not giving me a plunge. I asked for a plunger. They said they were going to give me one in the morning. No one gave me one in the morning.
But you never
Now you get a double
resurfaced the
shit.
issue.
Now you get a double shit.
You never rebrought the issue up, though.
Because I assumed they would remember.
Yeah, but they didn't.
But maybe the women that were there that first night aren't there
They
anymore.
were there. They were there all weekend, and they saw. I made sure
Did
they
you
saw me.
reflag it with them?
I would look at them and I would go.
Did you go back and say, guys, toilet's still clogged? Any movement on
I
the
would
plunger?
stay away from 394.
Well, it's crazy of the cleaning lady to not do it because you're in a Mexican standoff with them at this point. Because,
Dude, I don't
They
think there
want-
was a cleaning lady.
but like, so when the next people got into 394, your clogged shit was still in there.
It will probably still be in there until someone tries to flush the toilet again because it doesn't look like it's clogged. And then when you flush the toilet, it explodes with water.
God.
You're really leaving the world a better place.
Dude, I try.
No, you don't.
I do.
I don't have a problem with you complaining about things that don't work properly if you make a proper effort to fix them, which you did not.
I made a proper effort to have to stop the bathroom from flooding.
That's damage control.
That was damage control like you've never. Dude, I was sweating. Going around just like throwing paper towels on the ground, grabbing a towel, like mopping up the floor. It was hell. This was after the shows on Saturday night. I'm
Why
exhausted.
are you
And
still
there's
using the toilet?
And there's water
Why
spray-
would you continue
Because
to use
there's nothing.
the fucking
There
toilet?
was no shit in the toilet anymore. So I was like, it has to have unclogged.
You didn't
It
even think.
has to
You
have.
didn't even think to flush it once for.
I
a
did.
check?
That's what I did.
Oh, you didn't use it that
I
time.
didn't use it, and then
Okay.
I was like, okay, there's no shit in the toilet
You did
bowl.
a control flush.
And I was like, let me flush it. And then I flush it. Dude, all of a sudden you just hear this like pop underwater, like a massive air bubble comes up, and then water is just flying out.
Flying?
Dude, it was like you're
No.
watching it, dude. You're
Gently, like rising.
No, you watch it rise, and then you go, it's not gonna stop, is it? and then a waterfall starts just flying over everywhere.
That happened on Friday night.
That happened Friday night, yes.
Okay. And did you tell the hotel, guys, the toilet's overflowing?
No, because then I was partly
That,
embarrassed. I was
to me,
embarrassed.
is
I was a little embarrassed. by that, to be honest.
Unbelievable that you would not tell the hotel that you had a fundamental plumbing issue now that could cause damage to the floors below, because that would have galvanized them. Then they would have fixed it. They probably would have either brought you a plunger or like brought you a plumber.
I didn't want a plumber, dude. I got embarrassed by that.
You weren't embarrassed on the first night to go ask for a plunger, implying that you would clog the toilet.
I was
with your
very
own
embarrassed,
shit?
and then I went down and they said we don't have one. So then I was expecting, I don't know what they're gonna say when I go down and say, hey, by the way, my whole entire room's underwater right now.
Well, at that point, it is their fault. And therefore, you should not be embarrassed.
You also take no for an answer way too easily.
He doesn't even, it's not even that. It's like your logic is so confounding.
What was wrong with my
You
logic?
admitted it to yourself. You saw that it wasn't where you resigned yourself. You were like, I'm not dealing with this anymore.
I'm just picturing you laying down in the bed and just your body rises up because you just shit yourself because there's nowhere for you to poop.
No,
Like, where would you have pooped when push came to shove?
I went shit at the club.
I think that from a hotel, there's like whatever, a couple things that you deserve in the same way that, you know,
Plumbing
as
is one of
basic
them.
hotel rights. It's bed, TV, shower, and toilet.
Agreed.
Toilet even over TV. I'll go to hotels that don't have TVs.
Oh, that hotel barely had a TV. I never even turned it on.
Just wiped your ass with a flat screen. Fucking threw it on top of the shit in your toilet. Fucking spiked out.
Threw the TV remote down the toilet, and that's what clogged it.
I left the place.
Probably.
I left the place very tight and clean, and I left a tip because I felt bad.
What?
Yeah,
You left a tip?
I did for the cleaners.
What did they do on the next 2 days when they came into your room? Did they make you? They
No
never
one-
came
they never
once.
came. No one
they
ever
never
came.
came once, and you still tipped them. What are you tipping them for?
For the inevitable scenario where they go to flush the toilet and it overflows. Because there are currently no signs that that toilet is clogged, other than the fact that it is clogged.
What about all the soaking wet towels that were on the floor?
I put them all in the trash can.
You threw them away?
In a metal trash can.
He said it was
They could
paper towels, remember?
No, there's real towels in there.
Oh, you threw out those too?
No, they're not. They're sitting next to the toilet
Dude,
in a bucket.
It's like it's your first day on Earth.
What did you want me to do with them?
I can't.
What was I supposed to do with them? Put them in the
give
sink?
Up. I'm giving up. I'm gonna do to you what you did to the fucking toilet, and just resign myself to the fact that you are going to fumble and bumble your way through life without. I don't know.
This happened to me once before. This exact same thing where I clogged the toilet and it overflowed, and this was in Houston, Texas.
Okay.
And I called them, and they said, I said, hi, my toilet is clogged and it's flooding. And they said, all right, we'll send someone up. And then they never sent anyone up. So then I went down and I was like, you guys got to go up there. It's not stopping. And then they let me switch rooms, and I handled the situation.
So then you you advocated for yourself.
I advocated for myself. In this scenario, I went down, I advocated for myself. They didn't want to hear it. I'm telling you, dude, no nonsense black broads. They did not want to hear it.
You have to meet
all.
their fucking energy of no nonsense.
But like there was nonsense that was occurring, and they didn't have any tolerance for it. So they sent me back.
Okay,
up.
so you run into a couple N squared B squared, and you don't know what it is that you have to say to them to galvanize them, because there is a way to unlock that.
You know what it is? I'll tell you exactly what it is. It's clapping your hands on the syllables. I need some help. I need someone to help me. They would have fucking turned on like
they
that if you did that.
That's an option. To me, it's as simple as the water. It's the water. Emphasize the fact water is overflowing from the toilet, and it's because I thought it had been unclogged, but it's not, and now it's leaking. They're going to be on that. That's damage to the hotel. They don't want that.
Francis would have had this salted.
I guarantee if any of this occurred, you would have switched hotels.
No, I would have switched rooms.
If you went down and you said my toilet's clogged, I need a plunger, and they said no, what would you have done?
That wouldn't have been the end of it. That's
for
sure.
You would have had you would have gone back and forth.
No, there just would have been I don't know. If they truly just said, we're not helping you, figure it out on your own, to me, then I would have said, okay, can you point me in the direction of a place that has a plunger? I wouldn't have just guessed that the local 7-Eleven, because I know that I'm there that whole weekend. I'm annoyed that the hotel's not taking care of it, but that's life. This is what it is.
But
now
you have
we're
to
here.
confront them with their own logic. You have to be like, okay, so you're telling me now that to unclog my toilet, I have to reach in with my bare hands? What happens if I want to use the restroom again? This is your hotel, your plumbing problem. How can we sort this out?
Yeah, I mean, I had all of these thoughts. I just internalized all of them.
Yeah, you have to externalize
Like I was going
them.
back up to my room like, well, where the fuck am I supposed to shit if I have to? Like I was pissed.
I think it's a confidence
I was
thing.
mad.
I think you need to know that you have the confidence you're in the right.
You see an N squared, B squared, you need some exposure therapy where you just go up to them on the street and tell them what's what.
Dude, I tried my best.
Wow.
It was not your best. Because you said in Houston, was it N squared, W squareds?
It was no nonsense white broads.
White women.
Yeah.
N squareds, W squareds.
Yeah.
Okay. So that shows that
N-squared Warner Brothers.
But I got up in their face with it. I was like, send someone to my room now.
Wow, you spoke that way to whites, but not to blacks.
Well, I have more respect for the other.
for a black
whites.
woman.
For which ones?
Black women.
Or fear?
Respect.
Fine.
It's an atonement. It's sorry about
No,
the,
to be fully
1860s.
honest, I went down. I said, "Do you guys have a plunger?" They said, "We don't have a plunger." And then in my head, I was like, "All right, if you guys don't care about the clogged toilet, I guess I don't care about it either." And then I went to bed. I was tired.
There you go.
Then it progressively got worse, and it got extremely frustrating.
And each time that you made any cursory effort to solve it, you realized I'm tired.
Pretty much, yeah. Oh, and I'm fucking gassed. I don't have time for this bullshit.
I don't want to do this. So
By
I'm
the
gonna
end
go.
of the weekend, the bathroom just stayed closed.
Yeah.
So that's not part of
What
my
about brushing
room
your
anymore.
teeth and like washing your hands and peeing?
I would go in, brush my teeth, pee,
Where?
the toilet.
So you're just adding.
I was just adding to it.
You're
No
adding?
end.
No,
You're
you peed in the
layering.
shower.
I peed in the sink once.
Might as well not hold back now.
Right, like there's not like oh. Well,
I
he-
wanted
he
this to be
peed
like a
on
funny story, and now it's just like I feel like it's exposing a lot of bad qualities about me. This has dragged on far longer than I was hoping.
No, it's that funny of a story that we
It
need
was funny.
every detail of it. It's so fucking funny.
The funny part is the truth. The truth is what's funny. And so getting you to tell it in an
I thought the funny
unvarnished
part was
way.
them not having a plunger and then sending me back up to my
No,
room.
it's listening to you be willing to drive to Maryland at 7 a.m, but not be willing to like fucking find a plunger.
You literally were just finding fish that were hidden from you the entire time. The guy at Home Depot will tell you where the plunger is. There's no mystery in that. You can almost catch your fish right away.
Fishing was pretty sick.
Don't change the subject.
It was great.
Just you?
Yeah, just me.
Yeah. Do you listen to music?
No,
Just you and a stomach full of shit.
stomach full of shit. Definitely a stomach full of shit on Saturday.
How many fish did you catch?
Not a lot. I caught 4 the first day, and then the second day was pretty slow.
I mean, 4's pretty impressive. I think. That's
Nah, it was
bountiful
alright.
day.
Why did you just shit in the woods?
Because I didn't really have to. I kind of have the ability to just turn it off if I need to.
Just cinch your asshole shut.
Yeah, I was
Big
just
Cat
like-
has a good line. I think that he does. He'll.
He'll go up and he'll say, "Someone clogged my toilet."
Yes.
Yeah.
So why don't you use that line? You don't think any no nonsense black broads appreciate a little humor?
They would have been like, "Who?" And then I would have been like, "I don't know."
Ghost.
Yeah, the ghost.
Man,
The ghost of Baltimore's past.
you are a work in progress, my friend.
But that's what makes.
And
it
that's
so-
why I was saying that the hotel that I stayed at last time in LA was the best hotel I've ever stayed at. Anyways, does anyone have anything interesting to say about LA?
Oh, who? That is the first time that's ever happened. That he's gotten us back on my track.
Well, he called
Ever.
a shot with the
Flawless
transition.
All I had to do was just shame his story to a point of
Pointing out
humility.
every bad quality about him as an individual, and
Yeah.
then flawlessly we're transitioning back.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah, no, this wedding was awesome. I'm trying to think.
Did anyone clog like any toilets or embarrass themselves fecally?
No, this hotel was too nice.
Fecal embarrassment.
That's my fetish. I love fecal embarrassment porn.
Fecal shaming.
Like the toilets there have to be.
Oh yeah, they're going down smooth. It
Well,
was
it's like,
all
yeah.
Japanese
Japanese-
toilets.
I
You ever
was
see
literally
those
about to say
Japanese
that,
ones? You
yes.
wave their hand and the
Yeah.
seat raises. The lower seat is heated,
Yeah.
so you got nice toasty cheeks to rest upon, and then you stand up and it just automatically flushes. Everything's
Yeah.
automated.
Yeah, we didn't have
What are
that.
those Toto or something like that?
Toro maybe.
Toro maybe. Yeah,
Might
some
be
shit like that.
Toro.
There's on 23rd Street. They have a place.
Yeah.
You got to grab your own shitter from there. You got to start
Yeah.
bringing your own toilet on the road.
Yeah, bringing my own bidet.
Not even just a
Installing
bidet.
it.
Yeah. A full-on Japanese toilet that you install every
They're
time.
supposed to be pretty easy to install bidets.
Yeah.
Greer's always raging about them.
Wait, no, didn't someone in Chicago, someone's neighbor flooded their apartment because they were installing a bidet?
Oh, I could see it getting out of control.
Like
fast.
Tom Lay's neighbor flooded his apartment installing a bidet. Or no, Big T. Big T's neighbor was
Oh.
trying to install a bidet and it flooded. He woke up, put his feet down, and it was water up to his ankles.
That's so fucked.
Because someone tried to install a bidet. I thought it was literally you like screw one
I think it
nut.
is. It's probably just bad plumbing.
Oh, did I tell you guys I swung through Vegas on the way out there
Yeah.
to do a quick gig, and the morning it was a corporate gig, and the morning keynote speaker was Alex Honnold,
Oh, really?
the free solo.
Yeah, the free solo.
climber.
Really?
So he spoke, and I got to watch that, which
How was that?
pretty fucking cool.
That's pretty sick.
I mean, he's just sort of telling the story of, his, how he
Ascent.
got into rock climbing, and then also what made him decide to want to free solo El Cap.
Yeah.
It's because of his like pretty severe Asperger's, right?
Yeah, he's fucking autistic. Like deeply.
Yeah,
I think that because he doesn't have
the train sets didn't really capture
Dude.
enough of his
they
attention.
didn't go high enough.
The interactions between him and his like girlfriend.
Fiance,
Yeah, so now that's his wife.
Okay.
And they have 2 kids. He had an amazing answer because he did his whole presentation, which again, it's a slideshow and he's sort of talking through and he's using photos, but it's all the story of the movie.
Yeah.
Pretty much. And then stuff from behind the scenes. And that movie came out, I think, in 2016.
Yeah.
So it seems to me that he now makes at least a portion of his income just from doing corporate gigs and telling a story that I would guess he's been telling for 6 years, 8 years.
Yeah.
That's
which,
amazing. He
you know.
probably gets like 6 figures from some of these.
Exactly.
Like if they like a stand-up comic, they love a mountain climber.
Absolutely.
Because the analogies write themselves.
Well, exactly. So his whole metaphor was risk and risk analysis,
Yeah.
which they were trying to layer over business practices and things. And I would say he didn't do that good of a job. He was pretty
Drawing
literal,
the parallels, as someone with his condition is wanted to be.
Exactly. Because after they did a Q&A and all the questions were about assessing risk and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And someone asked a question, which was, how does your wife or girlfriend or whatever feel about the choices you make to free solo and put your life on the line? And he goes, well, the girl I was dating in the movie is now my wife. And back then, I really just didn't care what she thought.
You could tell from the movie.
And he goes, but now that we have kids, I value her opinion a little more.
Yeah.
And he meant it totally literally.
Oh,
It wasn't a joke at all. He was like, now we're a team. I have to kind of run things by her.
Yeah.
But he fully said, I was just did not care.
Does he still do it?
I don't know.
Just less frequently, maybe?
I don't know if he's
still does.
freestyling. Have I told you that I went skydiving with him just coincidentally once?
No.
I don't believe you have told us that. You went
He was
skydiving with the guy from Free Solo.
Alrighty, let's talk about game time.
Game time.
We got a new feature at GameTime, GameTime Picks. And man, is it special. GameTime has always been my personal partner for Phillies games. Every time around this year, Phillies playoffs, I say, hey, I got to freaking get there. And then I go to GameTime Picks, and I see how incredible the pricing is. It's saying that you can get into a Game 3 ticket right here in New York for $351. What? That's an insane deal for playoff baseball.
It's not bad.
No, it's insane.
Dude, listen to
It's
this.
insane.
You can go see Jelly Roll tonight at UBS Arena for $14.
Where's UBS?
Is that out in?
Oh, is it in Long Island?
I think so.
We should hit him
Travis
up.
Scott at MetLife for only 97 bones.
Les,
Bengals Giants on Sunday for only 63 bones.
Sass, last time J-Roll was in town, he came on the pod.
Yeah, I wonder if he's going to do the rounds
He
again.
came on the squad.
He did your guys' show. That's right.
He came on the
day
squad
before-
cast.
The day before his album came out.
Right.
We were the last show he did before his album came out.
That's so sick.
And then
It was pretty
so he
sick.
should be back around, right?
You should be back around, but you know where I'll be around this weekend?
Is Game Time website.
The Game Time website. Justin Timberlake at the Barclays.
Oh no.
Looks like the world tour is back on.
Man, I'm tired of singing.
Wow.
You remember that?
This is gonna hurt the
This is
tour.
gonna hurt the tour. What tour? The
Yeah.
world tour.
Oh man, Game Time Picks, you know what it has. They filter out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. What are you waiting for? I might go get my tickets to the Barclays right now.
I'm gonna go get my tickets to the Barclays immediately. Download the Game Time app and use code BOYDAD to easily score great deals with the new Game Time Picks. What time is it?
Game
It's Game
time.
Time.
We should all wear maybe like suits and sneakers to the Justin Timberlake concert.
Yeah.
at the
Ooh, that's
Barclays.
cool.
Yeah.
Suits and like
Or like
high-top
turtlenecks
Jordans.
and sports jackets.
Yeah,
Dick in a box.
and we all get drunk and try to drive home. Okay,
Well,
never mind.
all right. Now you lost me.
All right, guys, let's take a second to talk about BetterHelp.
I love BetterHelp.
Halloween lets us have...
Francis has been hammering BetterHelp lately.
I've been hammering it.
I think he's the first person to ever have like a 24-hour therapist on BetterHelp.
He's doing a live stream.
I have diamond medallion status on BetterHelp. I got my own personal hotline. They just pick up and they're like, "Hey, Francis."
They just have a Ring camera installed in his house and they watch him 24/7.
It's like the portal to Ireland. Just go to Central Park and just talk to a BetterHelp employee rotating at a desk at all times. And shout out to them because that's how it can be for you. Halloween, let's just have fun with what scares us. But what about the fears that don't involve zombies and ghosts? Therapy is a great tool for bringing your fears right to the forefront of finding ways to overcome them, because sometimes the scariest thing is not facing our fears. Obviously, I've benefited from it. Obviously, Francis has benefited from it.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine your life without it.
Be a lot more candy, that's for sure.
Yeah, exactly. It's very simple, very straightforward. You fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist. You can switch anytime, no additional charge. Overcome your fears with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/son today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp.com/son.
The first time I ever went skydiving was outside of Denver, and he was on the plane. But this was before Free Solo. This would have been probably 2011, 2012, something like that.
Do you think he feels anything from skydiving?
Well, that's why I said to him,
like,
I said, because
it's like checking his phone while falling.
it was his 19th jump,
Yeah.
and he was getting his own license so that he could go by himself.
Ah.
And I said, why are you doing this or something? And he was like, I don't know. It's the next thing. Something like that.
What the fuck?
So then that very same skydiving facility is the exact same place that we did the skydiving for
The Most Dangerous Game
Show.
Yeah. No way. I remember you said you went there before. I didn't realize it was with the biggest daredevil that's alive.
Yeah. You shake his hand and it's like shaking hands with a guy who has 5 sausages for fingers.
I mean, have you ever seen the video of the rock climbers against the bodybuilders doing it's like probably like a lat pull or something, like a row, and the rock climber's ability to fucking move this is like blows these bodybuilders away, and he out reps them, does more weight than them, and he's built like you know what I mean? He's built like Owen. Handsome, beautiful body.
It's truly bizarre how muscular their fingers are. And he talked about getting in shape to Free Solo LCAP and how he like did a lot of finger strengthening exercises.
No wonder his wife stays with him.
I know.
So he's just doing pull-ups with one finger in these holes.
Yeah.
Like that in his van. That's what he did. But I don't know. He
no
was
wonder
cool.
his wife lets him continue to train.
I think he still does do it because in the Alpinist, he's in the Alpinist, right?
Is he interviewed in that?
Yeah, he's in it because what's his name? The dude from that Solo's LCAP, I think, faster than he did. So then he goes back and does it again.
Those guys are the kind of guys who, if they don't die, they will basically do it until it kills them.
That's what happened to the dude from the Alpinist.
No matter, even if you have kids or a wife that you can.
The best one of all, well, Free Solo is the best, but another really good one is Maru.
Maru is so
and
good.
It's Nate's cousin.
Really?
His first cousin is the third guy, the guy who falls in, I think, in a skiing accident.
Yeah.
And has to rehab, and they wait for him and bring him up.
That documentary is phenomenal.
It's crazy.
I didn't know you saw that.
Conrad Anker. So Conrad Anker and Alex were climbing partners for a while.
Yeah.
People really seem to respect him.
Yeah.
He's got to just be skydiving with a resting heart rate of like 45.
Yeah. Nothing. He doesn't feel anything from that. So if you have a parachute,
Dude,
he's probably like poking holes in his
just like
parachute before
it,
they jump.
Biting it.
This
make this interesting.
This conference I did, the speaker, the morning speaker was Alex Honnold. The midday speaker was a woman who's a CNN, Fox News analyst who came in to talk about the state of the U.S. economy, and then me. And I'm like, wow, what a.
That's a good murderer's row.
How did the show go?
Melange of
a beautiful
presenters. It was the best corporate gig I've ever done, for sure. In that they actually set up the stage and had the like seats around, and it had a comedy club kind of vibe. And it was 220 people packed in, and people were up for it. It was good. I started by just reading their like mission statement and making fun of it, and they liked that.
Yeah.
And then I did my act, and they didn't love that as much.
Yeah. Did you have to do a lot of like?
I did some
Off the
changes.
top shit.
I did, and I remember there was a moment where I have a joke about like kind of making fun of fat people, and I changed at the last. Just in my head, I saw it coming.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm gonna change that a little bit.
Yeah.
Why? Because they were really fat guys.
I just, I don't want to fucking bum people out at 3 p.m. It was no one's drinking.
Oh,
Then that night they were going to see Maroon 5. I mean, it was like
it's a pretty jam-packed schedule.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was cool. But the company was awesome and everyone was super cool, and it was a fun gig.
I had to do
last thing. So then I had to go to LA that night.
Yeah.
And I got off stage at 4:30 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
The hotel that I was performing at was 5-minute drive to the Las Vegas airport.
Yeah.
To Harry Reid.
I had an 8 p.m. flight to
Mhm.
LA, but I was trying to get there sooner so that I could get there to be part of like the welcome festivities for the wedding. And I booked myself an earlier flight. I booked at 4:30 p.m. I'm at the hotel.
Yeah.
I booked a 5:20 p.m. Delta flight. I call an Uber. So I'm still at my hotel. The flight's in 50 minutes.
Yeah.
I get there at like 4:45.
Mhm.
I go up to the ticket counter. I can't even check in on my app because it's too close. And they're like, do you have the credit card that you booked your flight with? And I was like, oh, shoot. I had accidentally booked the ticket with a card that I'd canceled because I'd lost it. And they were like, we can't let you go. We can't check you in unless you have the card. And I'm like, well, how did it even go through if I canceled this card? And they were like, whatever. So I said, can I go through security and try at the gate? And they were like, we don't advise it, but okay. Because security, all you need is the ID.
Yeah.
So I race through security. I get on the tram. I go to the thing. Now it's fully like I'm sprinting through the airport.
Yeah.
And I get to the gate and there's no one there. They've already boarded everybody on the flight. And the woman said, oh yeah, they called us to tell us that you were coming. And I was like, those fucking snitches.
Yeah.
Because they were like telling me not to go.
Yeah.
There's no way I'm going to make it. I'm like, look, I had a flight. I had a seat reserved, even though the card didn't work. I don't know how this happened, but I know I had a place on this plane. What can we do? And they were like, I don't know what to tell you. And then some other woman goes, well, why don't you buy a ticket for the later flight and then fly standby on this one? Because the original ticket I'd had for the 8 p.m. was on Southwest, which I did not.
Yeah, come on now.
Jesus
Let's
Christ,
not be
bro.
ridiculous.
So I
Surprised you even
buy-
said that.
Standing there at the gate, I buy a ticket for the later flight, and then I fly standby and got there.
Hell yeah.
You
It was
beat
like-
the fucking system.
It was like the most heroic, I don't know, travel make.
That
I've ever
feels
had.
it feels amazing when
Yeah.
you got a good make like that.
Yeah,
It
I've
was
had
really,
You're
it
like,
really
I'm
good.
not gonna fucking make it, and then you slide through.
Well, I
under
got
the
in
door.
like 3.5 hours earlier than I
Or
would've.
getting in early. Yeah, I've had that where I've gotten to the airport and then I like out of the corner of my eye, I saw a flight boarding to where I was going, and then I just went up to the desk and I was like, "Can I get on this flight?"
Yeah.
Can I
And
come
they
too?
were like, it's going to be $70 extra, and I was like, "How about 700? Take everything, get me on this fucking plane."
It changes everything. It feels.
Yeah.
It just has a euphoric feeling.
But LA has the same problem Chicago does, which is that they've now hacked it with Uber, such that if you want to take an Uber from the actual terminal at LAX, you have to take a black car, which was $140
Dude, it is
to downtown.
so brutal.
Or-
JFK does that now too.
Yeah, I've heard that. Or you can get on what I would only describe as like a refugee van
Yes, yes. And
to bring you to a tent city where you have to trade a totem with a gypsy for the right to stand in line for an actual
Yeah.
Uber.
and it's not the wait for the shuttle is not short either.
No,
I've waited for like 40
it
minutes for the
stops at
shuttle.
every terminal along the
Yeah.
way.
Yeah. It is brutal.
You know who that economy is amazing for is for the guy who stands there with just like a polo shirt on and goes up to everybody is like, taxi.
Yeah.
Because at this point, I'm ready to get in the taxi.
Those guys,
I don't fuck with those dudes.
Excuse me, if they're gonna fucking, I just spit. That's why I said excuse me. I feel embarrassed.
All good.
No, both of us were interrupting you, and you deserve to continue telling your story.
No, I literally I'm only saying excuse me because I spit. But it's like I would get human trafficked for the chance to not have to take the bus.
Absolutely.
Even if they have to do that. Even
Those
if it's
guys
a 1 in
aren't
5.
They're not as bad as people give them a reputation.
Yeah, it's just the idea that, but it's like
Because you're in an unmarked vehicle.
You need to set the terms, though. You
we're
just
not
say,
no
this is where I'm
nonsense white
going.
women. We can handle ourselves.
This is what I'm willing to pay. And either you're taking me for that or you're not. No tip included. Like that includes the tip. And they'll either say yes or no. And you can cross-reference by checking the price of an Uber first.
Well, I had that happen to me at JFK when I first moved here, but I didn't know what was going on. So I paid the dude like $300.
Yep.
I thought he was going to kill me if I didn't.
Right.
And they'll also like forget how to speak English halfway through.
Yeah.
They'll be like, "Hey, you didn't pay the market."
I didn't know what was happening, and then like halfway through the trip, I realized that I was just in like a random car flying down the highway. I was so scared. I remember texting my parents, being like, "I don't know what to do." I was gonna tuck and roll.
That happened to me in Chicago, where I got in one of them, and the guy had a taxi meter, and it was going up maybe every 0.5 second.
Yeah.
It's infuriating. And I was like, is this by
like a
time?
Fucking gas pump?
Yeah. It was going up so fast. I was like, is this by time or by distance? And he was like, it's by both. I was like, no.
Yeah.
Pull me over. It can't be time and distance, dude. I was so shocked.
He's got his own equation.
He definitely had an algorithm that he made like special for me.
Yeah, velocity equals distance over time, right?
Yeah, he was hitting me with. We were going to a hotel, an airport hotel. It was one of the ones that's like right there around the corner. It was like $80.
Yeah.
It was like, please get me out of this death trap. That shouldn't even be legal.
I think Joe DiMaggio's father was a cab driver in San Francisco, and he found a faulty meter where it would juggle up every time you hit a pothole. And he memorized where all the potholes in the city were. And that's how
paid for his son's baseball career.
Yeah, but it's also like, how many times did he have to fix the suspension of the car?
That would probably be costly. The suspension, the shocks.
Yeah. That's a great book, by the way, the biography of Joe DiMaggio. I can't remember what it's called, but
how explicit does it get about his trysts with
Marilyn Monroe? Yeah, they talked about that.
Is that where they said that she was a stinky sandwich eater and fucking like...
Yeah, they called her smelly.
Bring tuna to bed with her?
Yeah.
What?
They said she'd have just like tuna sandwiches in her bed.
No.
And she smelled bad. Seriously.
No, this is true.
I'm not letting you judge anyone after your fucking hotel clogging marinade camping session.
He names his
Is that where they talk about our nation pointing at our lonely eyes to him? Come on.
I love that.
That deserves more.
That's great.
That was a banger.
It's an amazing song. I've never really understood why there's the Joe DiMaggio reference.
You know, he got pissed about that.
I heard that.
Yeah, from me. Because I told it on the podcast before.
It's possible I'd heard it prior to you telling me that.
I think you heard it prior.
I don't think so.
I remember you saying it and thinking, oh, yeah.
It wasn't new information because that tickles a different part of your brain when you get new information and then when you get something that's...
Right. I didn't say, oh, wow. I said, oh, yeah.
Like the fact that Indian people own 50% of motels. Have you been telling people about that?
Someone reached out to me about that and said he's a Patel and has more information. And I said, share. And he never got back to me.
Exactly. Because he's not a Patel.
He is a Patel. That's his name on Instagram.
Yeah, it's a fake account. That was me. That was my burner.
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
That would be hilarious if I was just DMing you from a burner.
From your
He said it runs deeper than we can even imagine.
Really?
Yeah.
That's intriguing.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Howard Johnson was a Patel?
Who's Howard Johnson?
That's
the hotel chain?
The hotelier.
Yeah. Wait, what wasn't it? What kind of hotels do the Patels have?
Motels.
Oh, it's all motels?
Yes.
So that Patels have hotels or motels?
Mattel is the game company.
Mattel. Can you play Mattel at a Patel motel.
Interesting.
Not to be confused with Sass's favorite human,
Don't tell.
Dave Attell.
Oh, Dave Attell. Have you seen Dave Attell's Don't Tell while playing Mattel at a Patel motel?
He stayed at a Patel motel.
Very fun.
Filming his Don't Tell, called Dave Attell Presents. Dave Attell.
Dave Attell presents Nimesh Patel.
God damn, that's good.
That's good.
Riffy Longstocking.
That's good ass shit. That's
It's a
gonna take
banger.
us to the next fucking level.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, when we were in Baltimore, that area of the club is like pretty nice.
It's so nice.
Yeah, it's a nice area.
What's that called again?
Fells Point?
Fells Point,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's stunning.
And the last night, me and Mook went to 7-Eleven to pick up some drinks.
You guys didn't go to
And some plungers.
Thames Street Oyster House?
No,
Or
we must have missed
The
it.
food truck.
We went to
Ecumen?
some sports bar that was very nice.
Jimmy
though.
Seafood.
Yeah, I don't believe we stopped by Jimmy's, but we went to 7-Eleven, and I was wearing my Patriots sweatshirt, my gray one, and we walked in, and there was a dude to the right, and he goes, "Man, fuck the Patriots," and I kind of like turned around, and I was like, "Yeah," and then I turned around, and his eyes are rolled into the back of his head, and his pants are like at his knees,
He's a character from The Wire.
and I was just like, "All right." That wasn't a joke, was it? And then he got in a fight with the 7-Eleven employee.
I was with Mook once when we were in Denver. We went to 7-Eleven. I think that's where he shops.
7-Eleven.
He
No,
was
he
buying
didn't want-
socks.
That is his grocery store.
He wasn't going to go to 7-Eleven. I was the one that was like, you mind if we stop at 7-Eleven?
Okay.
Yeah, that was my suggestion.
Mook sustains himself via what he finds.
I've been
at
there. I've
7-Eleven.
been there in my life before, sustaining myself fully at 7-Eleven.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Going to every shopping trip at 7-Eleven.
Some lady came to the show, an older couple came, and I guess they're fans of you, and they pretty much ruined my weekend because they brought me candy. They brought me a lot of candy, and
What?
then I ate just insane amounts of candy
I
every
ate a lot
night.
of candy this weekend.
They
too.
said they brought you some sweet treats. She was like, Francis isn't the only one that gets desserts. And then she handed me a bag of all of my favorite candies. I must have eaten 10,000 calories of candy this weekend.
This is nice.
No
It was
wonder
awesome.
you're clogging the toilet, dude. You
Yeah.
were.
It was
pouring
awesome, but
acid.
I'm currently trying to get off the gummies, and that did not help at all.
Dude, I bought on the way out to Vegas before I left, I bought a family share size bag of sour Skittles. And I don't know why I did this. I put a napkin down on the tray table and then dumped them all out
Yeah.
and sorted them into different colors, like their own color groupings. And I ate them in order from worst to best.
Yeah.
And I finished them. And I remember going halfway through the yellows and being like, why am I doing this?
Because you got to get to the blues. That's why.
Well, by the time I got to the purples and the reds, I'd come so far and I'd earned it to finish the good ones.
Yeah.
I'd worked to get to that point.
What
Yeah.
did your seatmate say?
Bro, it was weird that I did this. And not only that, but my mouth for 2 days felt scarred.
You probably
it's
had
like,
ulcers.
It's like if someone took a knife to the inside of your mouth and
Yeah.
just diced it up.
It felt like there was just it was sloughing off
Yeah.
skin.
Yeah.
Like the inside of my cheeks was burned.
And that's from a chemical reaction.
Yeah.
How crazy is that? That you
It was-
literally have a science experiment going on in your mouth.
It was so bad, and I don't know why. I've got to get a handle on like my stress eating and my binging.
Yeah, I'm done. I'm done with gummies.
I have a real problem. It's nerves. It's like somehow putting things in my mouth calms my anxiety,
Dude, I'm the exact same way.
and I don't even realize I'm doing it.
yeah.
But I was getting to a point. Then what I started doing was I would take one of each color and put them in my mouth and push them around with my tongue and see if I could tell which flavor was
Yeah.
which.
Yeah.
And then I'd suck all the sour off and then get it until the hard shell had been melted away. And then it became this like one mass. And then I would suck on that like a hard candy until it disappeared.
Mm.
And I thought if I went at that pace that I wouldn't finish the Skittles. but it was a long flight
Yeah.
and I had plenty of time.
Yeah.
And something about having them all there in front of you out of the bag. I wasn't going to put them back in the bag.
No.
You just had them on your table raw?
Yeah. Well, on a napkin.
Oh.
One of them fell off onto the floor and I accidentally stepped on it. And this is how fucking crazy I am. I thought about peeling it off the floor and eating it.
Yeah.
This is
would
where
have
I'm
done
at
the
right
same.
now.
That's
Dude,
unbelievable.
I have major problems.
Dude, this lady
It's
brought
amazing.
me.
Structural issues.
Yeah.
This lady brought me Lifesaver gummies, gummy bears, Sour Patch Kids,
Oh my God.
sugar cookies, and a gallon-sized bag of Airheads.
No,
The
that's
Airheads.
borderline fetishist behavior.
The Airheads
Yeah.
were a
She's a feeder.
problem.
That's Munchausen by proxy.
She's
Yeah.
definitely a feeder for
She
sure.
wants-
Did you know
just-
who I'm talking about?
No?
Someone in Baltimore said that she said she brought you, or maybe, I don't know, maybe she said she saw you at the port and she was like, Francis isn't the only one that gets
I don't
gifts.
remember anyone bringing me.
Maybe she was
candy.
referring to the podcast because you've talked about how people bring you pie.
They do bring me pie.
Yeah.
Someone in Austin made me pies.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, do you bake a lot? This guy. And he's like, this is the first time. I was like, huh.
That's weird.
Hey, babe. But he was a good guy. He's a good guy.
Of course he's a good guy.
He
He made
learned how to cook.
Little
for you.
individual ones. He was like, I tried them. I promise it's not that bad.
Did
Were
you
they
try,
good?
Did you try them?
I did.
Was it good?
We ate them. They were solid.
Yeah.
They weren't good.
Well, look.
It's his
let's-
first time making pie. The first time I made a cake, it tasted like soap.
Baking is very precise. You need to use the exact measurements of things like baking soda and, whatever, flour and all that.
And you have to mix the hell out of it. If you don't have an industrial mixer,
Yeah.
doing that shit with your hand is not going to work.
You
your
cannot
own arm?
kind of fudge baking. You're not supposed to fudge baking.
You just can't.
No.
You
You
can't
just
fudge
can't.
baking.
You have to be very precise.
You can try baking fudge, but you can't try fudge baking.
You can't fudge baking.
Fudging baking. Oh, man. No, but he was such a nice guy.
Of course.
And they were good. And we all ate them. Me and John Kennedy and a couple other people. Gardini.
Solid crew.
Who? Sean. Oh, Sean.
John Kennedy was with you in Austin?
He was there for that weekend, so he hopped on and did a little guest spot.
Oh, nice. I think Gardini might come to Rochester.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah. We'll see.
That would be great. I'd love to have him up there with us.
Us.
Am I out now?
I got to bring someone to Rochester.
Are you seriously booting me from the Rochester show?
Yeah.
For Gardini?
Yeah.
I'm getting bumped?
Sean?
What is this?
Dude, I was looking at photos of that club this morning. It was a stressful morning. I had a package that was supposed to be coming tomorrow, and now it's not. I wake up to my manager texting me about Rochester, and then I'm looking at the photos of and it's like, dude, what is it? A fucking 10,000 person room? I mean, it's the biggest space I've ever seen.
You want to hear stressful
It's
morning?
a factory.
I had
Peppers got arrested.
a rug delivered.
Jabril.
Yeah, Jabril got arrested.
For what?
Like everything you could imagine.
Cocaine and strangulation.
Cocaine, weapons, strangulation, assault. So now we don't have a good. What we do is we have Gonzalez. He's the truth. He's not a safety.
Corner. Yeah.
I don't know why I did this, but I had some rugs delivered from Morocco. They finally came, which, by the way, you have to pay an import tax when they arrive at the border. So I had to log into DHL and pay the border agents.
And there's
DHL.
the fucking shipping. The shipping strike was going on while you had Moroccan
it's
rugs
true.
in tow.
That's true. Well, they came and I have a small living room and a bedroom. And I put the rug in, I lifted up all the furniture, cleared it out, flipped the sofa up and put the rug down and then put everything back in place. And then I realized that rug was not going to go there and I had to switch it.
Yeah.
So I undid everything, pulled the rug out, put the other rug down there, and then I went into the bedroom and I had to put it under my bed. And I have a king size bed. And I couldn't, it has all these, pegs under the middle. And I'm doing this alone.
Yeah.
And I tried to lift up the bed and feed the rug under, and that wasn't working because it kept bunching.
Mm-hmm.
So I got under the bed and I'm bench pressing the bed. and pulling the rug under me and then lifting my butt to scoot it under me. And the bed's heavy.
Yeah.
And I'm having a really hard time keeping it up while simultaneously feeding the rug under both my body and the bed.
Yeah. Sounds like a workout.
There was just this moment where I was like, I guess this is why I should probably be in a relationship.
So you could have a woman to do it with?
I need a feeder. I'll lift. I can do the lifting, but it would be nice to have the company of a feeder.
You know what's crazy is women can do most of that on their own.
They know. They
Isn't
know
it
a way.
Like I'll just come home and my whole house will be rearranged. And my wife like put a rug underneath a bed or like moved an entire couch around or something like that. Just like, yeah, like I just did it. It was hard.
Well,
I just did it.
You know, it goes to show that you hear those stories of how women have this incredible strength to lift a car off a baby that is trapped under the car, which by the way, how did the baby get under the fucking car? But if you have that strength in you, then
use it for nesting.
Apply it for other things. Yeah.
Yeah, get to CrossFitting.
Yeah. One time I went skiing when I was younger and there was a lady and her baby was falling off the chairlift and it was like a child, like a small child, and she couldn't lift the baby back up onto the chairlift, so they had to like call 911.
Yeah.
And I was young and I was like, she must not fuck with that kid at all. How do you not have like the adrenaline and the strength to pull your 40-pound child?
It's probably
up?
not her kid. It can't be her kid biologically.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Like, don't you think you would kick into like an extra gear and be like,
yeah.
And she's just like, I can't.
Yeah.
Did you think about going to one of the poles that supports the chairlift and unstrapping the padding to then bring under the kid and catch it?
I think they had to bring out the net.
They usually use one of those pads that's attached to the poles.
Oh, really?
So that if you hit the pole full speed, you bounce off. And they get 5 or 6 people to stand under it like they're catching a child falling from a burning building.
That's what they did for this kid.
They did?
Yeah.
You know why they do that?
So that they don't die when they hit the ground?
No, well, that's reason 1A. No, excuse me, 1B. Reason 1A is that it's very hard to catch a child wearing skis.
That makes sense.
Because they can impale you.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that it's very smart to have realized that we shouldn't just try to barehand a child basically wearing
weapons.
Knives.
Weapons, yeah, on its feet.
You could easily just like take your skiing poles and kick the kid's skis off though.
Well, you'd think that if the mother were dexterous enough to remove the child's skis, she would probably be able to bring it back onto the
It would
seat.
be funny if she like lifted the kid up and popped the skis off and then put it back down.
I can't pick him up. So there must have been someone who learned the hard way that you can't catch a kid with skis.
Correct.
Yeah. The kid probably was fine.
And someone just got their head chopped off.
Yeah. Probably not chopped off, but definitely a good gash.
Or just pierced through the neck.
Yeah. Chairlifts are scary as hell. I've always fucking hated chairlifts.
Do you ski a lot?
No. But I used to. I was on the ski team.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Racing.
Doesn't sound like something that's true.
It was. I was on it for 3 years.
You did a quadruple black diamond.
But I really only did it for 1 year real. And then the next couple of years, I kind of would go with the team and then just ski by myself.
That's nice that they'd let you do that.
Yeah. They don't really give a shit.
Well, they probably saw your performance on the javelin team and were like, whoa, this guy threw it 80 yards.
Yeah, exactly.
He automatically has a shot. He's the best athlete we've ever seen.
Someone sent us your javelin results.
Yeah. Yeah. Not bad.
No, I don't think it was as bad as we had thought.
I mean, it was only like 2 meets.
It was like 23 meters or something like that.
Yeah, not bad.
That's not bad. I couldn't throw a javelin that far, probably, maybe.
You probably could. I was 13 at the time, so I would assume you could probably throw it further than me.
Yeah, I got a bum shoulder, though.
True. You do have a bum shoulder?
Shoulder pops out like nobody's business.
Josh Allen's definitely got a bum shoulder.
I'm just seeing if...
You see that concussion that he got? You didn't see it?
No.
He went out cold.
Allen did?
Yeah. That was like, there's a lot of controversy. They think that the Bills are going to get in trouble for letting him play the rest of the game. It was like last 5 minutes of the game, I think. It was definitely in the fourth quarter. And he got hit hard. And then in the slope, it didn't really look that bad, but he was down for like a while. And they brought him to the blue tent. And then they put him back in. And then after the game, people saw like this footage of it slowed down. And it was like he totally went out, like lost conscious.
But the concussion doctor is a third party.
Yeah, but I think I don't know.
Yeah, I guess if you get knocked out, it's a concussion no matter what.
I mean, dude, he went out completely.
That fucking sucks.
Yeah.
That's terrifying. He's
Yeah.
also fucking smart as shit.
Josh Allen?
When we did the dozen with him in wherever the Super Bowl was, he carried our team.
Oh, really?
He knew everything. Watching him do like long multiplication or long division, whatever the fuck it was, he flew through it so fast. It was so impressive. I have just such a newfound respect for him. And
I mean, you got to probably be pretty smart to be a quarterback.
Yeah.
In the NFL, quick decision making.
Did you see that video of that lady with Lamar Jackson?
I did, yeah.
That was fucking creepy.
What happened?
Day.
Just some older lady just like walked up to Lamar Jackson and
he was like at dinner.
And you know how old ladies will just like touch you?
Yeah, she like had she had her arms around him and she was like, "Who day?" It was very uncomfortable.
Just like trying to root for her team.
Yeah.
And how did he take it?
He kept on going, "This shit gonna be your fault. This is gonna be your fault."
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
He was cool about it.
Well, kind of. I mean, I don't think he was gonna like hit her.
No, but he was playing back. He was being playful.
Yeah, he didn't look like he was thrilled about it. He just kept on saying, "This is like it's going to be your fault when you lose." Because now I'm going to use this as motivation.
That's better than him being like, "Get away from me."
Yeah,
but he was already. I think he was on live or something.
Oh, really?
Or was he was being filmed? There was a reason he was being filmed. It wasn't.
Well,
like
I think it was. I think they were at like
restaurant.
a team dinner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so fucking weird. Just an invasive ass lady.
Yeah. I talked to a couple people this weekend after the shows about the Ravens, and there's like people from Baltimore who are like Bears fans and shit. And I was like, that must suck to be from Baltimore, live in Baltimore, and not be a Ravens fan right now.
I mean, you could just be a Ravens fan. You could just ride with them.
True.
You know what actually worked together were the green and the yellow Skittles. The reds and the purples were fine, but I knew that would work.
Yeah, it's like a berry smoothie.
And then the yellows and the oranges were okay.
They need to throw in a flavor as a palate cleanser.
I would say the reds do that.
No.
They should have like
red's too similar to purple.
They should have small cubes of steak in there.
Yeah.
To like kind of like just get a savory to go with the sweet.
Or like maybe like
beef jerky.
A little piece of beef jerky.
Something like, or biltong. Maybe just some biltong, just some crispy biltong in the middle of your Skittles. I thought.
Because I've noticed that when I was eating like 15 Airheads at once in one sitting, the flavors start to blend together. The white starts to taste like the blue.
That's what, like when you have the wasabi pea in the Chex Mix.
Exactly.
Or in the pub mix.
Exactly.
That shit is different.
Great
wasabi pea.
A great cleanser.
A gorp.
Gorp raisin.
A gorp raisin is so nice.
I haven't had a good gorp in a while.
When you watch that, the 7-Eleven worker get in a fight with the white guy with his pants by his ankles.
He was not a white guy.
Oh, he wasn't?
No.
Who won? Who won the fight?
Dude, those 7-Eleven guys really hold their own.
They always hold
They really hold they're not scared of anything.
The only thing more dangerous than a 7-Eleven guy is a guy that works at a gas station in Texas that's Asian but has a Texas accent.
Oh, yeah.
If he has a Texas accent, you know he has the biggest gun you've ever seen.
A massive 12-gauge shotgun.
A huge fucking Chinese guy with a fucking brilliant Texas accent.
Yeah,
Y'all get along now, you hear?
Yeah. It was 2 Indian dudes working behind the counter and then like 10 black dudes just like ripping into them being like, one of the guys was asking for a free drink. And he was like, remember last time I was here? He's like, you owe me a free drink. Like, let me get a free drink. And the Indian dudes were just like, $1. Like they were not letting it fly.
Course.
And then they were like laughing. Like the dudes behind the counter thought it was hilarious. They were not scared at all.
And they'll beat
those
your
guys
ass.
Were not joking.
Yeah.
And then they stormed out.
Because they probably, one, have the ooh-wop with them.
Yeah.
Right behind the counter.
Yeah.
And 2, they could probably beat your ass with a mop. Like a Shaolin monk.
Yeah. I saw a video this morning of a bunch of dudes in and that's why I asked about the crime in LA. Because there was a video this morning of a bunch of dudes breaking into a 7-Eleven in LA. And then the guy at 7-Eleven fights them off with a mop.
Does he?
Yes. Swear to God.
But those dudes are so badass.
Yeah. It's like 30 dudes like kicking through the door and then this guy just standing there just holding the door closed.
Oh, that was the video that
inside.
I saw Nadu reposted that and was like, what's to stop some 7-Eleven worker from pulling out a Uzi and mowing down all these low lives?
Yeah. People get fired up about the looting.
Yeah.
All right, should we wrap this up? I got to piss real bad.
You've been going for an hour?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Def.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
I felt like we were just getting started.
I'm having fun, but I think
No,
Hairball's
if
right.
Harry wants to,
If we
Harry
want to
wants
keep
stop
going,
it-
if you want to keep
if Harry
going, I
wants
can
to stop
piss and
it,
come
that's
back.
fine.
I think it's, safe to say that when you go to the bathroom, that's the time.
No, it's actually when I go to the bathroom and then I come back and I got like a whole new life in me.
No, the fans will remember who ended this one.
Yeah.
All right, well, we'll be back on Thursday. I'm going to be in Rochester this weekend. Please come, I beg.
And just a reminder,
Francis
I am no
won't be.
longer part of that show. But
Is
you should
everything
still
good
go.
with you?
Yep. All
Good.
well. Thank you.
All right, we'll see you guys on Thursday.
All right, that made me uncomfortable.
Francis will maybe be there. We don't know. Buy tickets regardless. Doesn't matter if he's there or not. All right, we'll see you guys on Thursday. Goodbye.